Hello everybody, yo, how's it going? Mr. MKL here, we are chilling, it is Thursday, I hope everyone's doing well. Oh, for some reason, my camera isn't working. Huzzah. Let's see if we can't fix that. Starting the day off right with some technical difficulties, as we are wont to do here in the digital basement. Yo, I hope everyone's doing well. We are playing some shooters today, man. It is happy shoot year. So I don't know about y'all, man, but I peruse the Steam sales every now and again, and this shooter called Angel at Dusk caught my eye. It looks metal AF. My lord, guys. It's just looks gorgeous, sounds gorgeous. And you know what? It's been a while since I played a shooter, so I was like, let me pick this up. And I've really been getting into it. So I've done a couple speedruns for it because there is no, I don't know, man, there is no like arcade score tracking community outside of like Twin Galaxies, like no universal one. Like Speedruns has speedrun.com, which for all its flaws is still a like central location that people can go to, right? There are like all these little niches in games have their own record keeping spheres, but scorekeeping seems to have gone by the wayside largely in favor of speedrunning. So it's kind of a shame, especially because, you know, there's so much score run potential in things like shooting games. So anyways, let's just get right into it, man. Angel at Dusk. Do I have it on? Good. Okay. You need to be careful because there is an R15 mode. There's the no nipple mode. We have a Twitch safe mode, friends, where all of this gorgeous art is sanded down to not have nipples, I guess, because, you know, that would be the worst thing in the world. All right, so what is this game all about? Well, let's head into story mode. So it is, I do love how the easy mode in Angel at Dusk is very hard. But there are two different missions. There's Awaken and Fallen, and then there are different difficulty modes for it, and then there are different angel types, which you can unlock multiples of along the way. So I have become a fan of this angel disaster. So, you know, like most shmups, I mean, the initiated will know all about this. For the uninitiated, you have a main weapon, auto fire, in this case, short-range penetrating attack, right? So get closer produces more resources, good to know. You have a heavy weapon, which is your laser. In this case, it's a literal laser like you would see in most other Danmaku or shmups. And there is also a bomb. In this case, it's like a mega laser, right? And this thing will just not only tear through enemies, but has super high durability. So one of the big things about Angels at Dusk is actually the bullet canceling mechanics. So you'll see it when we get into it here. But there's a whole level up mechanic. We have our laser and our rapid fire. We can actually fire, oh yeah, see, our little dudes fire all the time, right? So kind of like a Dodonpachi DFK Black Label situation where you can hold rapid fire and your laser at the same time. So your laser will actually destroy enemy bullets, right? But it'll have a limited durability, so it'll turn from blue to green. And then when it's green, it won't be able to actually absorb any bullets anymore. And so you don't really have to worry about running into enemies, you just have to worry about bullets, or walls for that matter, right? So I can bounce into enemies, and it's not a problem. I'll just bounce right away. Okay, and so you'll see, so you get these, there are blue hearts and there are green hearts. Green hearts will fill your stamina and it'll actually refill your health meter. Like, this game is not particularly hard to 1cc because you have so many health resources. So you can see at the top left, right, I have 3 hearts and a meter. When my meter is... when I lose a heart, I'll be able to fill that meter, and when I fill it up with green hearts, I'll get an extra life, right, or an extra health pip. And then those blue vials are my bombs, basically. So you can see here, right, my laser losing its durability. But here, I'll use my hyper laser, which has huge durability and big damage. And those medals dropping actually will contribute to my, let me get those, my total XP. So you can level up, get better guns, better ship, etc., etc. Yeah, so you want to keep those. If any of those, if you get hit, or if any of those drop to the bottom of the screen, you'll rank down, basically, and lose your medal rank, right? Also, every time, worth noting, every time you get hit, your experience rate will drop, right? So gaining you less experience every time you kill an enemy. So the worse you do, the harder it is to level up. But the game is designed, because you can see now I have 4 hearts since I've leveled up. I have even more opportunities to stay alive, right? So you're not so much worried about game overing as you are about not being able to hit the high score tiers, right? Yo, what's going on, Jonas? How you doing? Or Jonas. Yo, Happy New Year. This is strictly a top-down vertical shooter, so made in the old style of game, but with this gorgeous modern art and kind of a much less challenging or brutal difficulty as most bullet hell shooters. Yeah, so your VOMs is what they're called. They're different ships have different kinds. And some of them are more just like bombs. Some of them are like that. They're the giant laser, the heat emitter. And others still are like shields. I think one of them is a heal, right? So you'll be able to restore some health. So it's really cool because they kind of pull from a bunch of different style of shooters, and are okay, so you have this ability here, which will... right, so if you like this style of play, you can do that, and you can kind of customize. And then there's a roguelike mode, basically, or a mission mode that is that lets you customize your loadout entirely. So you can earn experience and customize your ship completely, and level up your different weapons and such. Yo, what's going on, Mohas? Whoops. Okay. So you can see here, now that I've taken a hit, when I gain green hearts, I'll start filling up that meter at the top right. Oh, that's right, the top left. And it'll eventually give me another heart once I do, and also give me a brief period of invulnerability. And so I'm just climbing this giant boss, taking out his various limbs until I can get up there. Got to get my medal rank back up since I took a hit. There we go. And I like how some enemies, right, have like multiple parts to them, so you can get medals if you take them out part by part. Just tanking some damage here. All right. And so you can see, now that I've taken some hits, my experience rate there has dropped to like 84% out of a max of 90, right? Do I have a favorite shmup series? Oh, man. I am very much a casual shmup enjoyer, so I don't know if I have a like favorite series here. Let me just use my heat emitter and just fucking vaporize the boss. So yeah, I don't know. Like I always loved dabbling in the old ones. I really liked R-Type growing up. Xevious was fun. But in terms of more modern ones, I think I have my biggest soft spot, I would say, is arcade shooters. I've always loved Dodonpachi as like, even though I was never good at them, like as a concept, I was always like, oh heck yes, I love this. But I think probably the one I got into the most actually was Death Smiles, the horizontal magical girl shooter from Cave. So yeah, you can see here, right? So yeah, you're not worried about hitting enemies and walls, which is actually really nice. You can just focus strictly on bullets. Let me go this way. Oh, see, yeah, I missed a medal, so you heard the boom where I ranked down. Okay, and then my obsession with trying to get mid-screen here. I don't know why. Woo! Damn it, went too high. Let me get some green hearts here. And oh, almost. I almost timed that. Oh, old school Gradius. Yeah. So you definitely understand the R-Type feel. But those games, like, honestly, they were so punishing, not necessarily because of the bullet patterns, but because of the power-ups issues, man. Like, once you die, heaven forbid you come back. Actually, it's one of the things I've been enjoying about Dodonpachi Resurrection is that the, especially the 1.5 version, has autobomb is standard. So there's almost this like expectation that you're like, okay, that's fine. You're gonna get hit. We've built in the autobomb into the core mechanics so that everyone's got to deal with it. It feels less like it's a cheat option. Take out your other wing. No! Did she get away? No, I think I got her. Okay, I need to be point blanking more because I'm really not building up my experience. Come on. Get one. Get the other. Nope, got away. Oh, shoot, and I missed a medal. Ooh, damn. Here, let me do it. There's a lot of experience points there. See, yeah. See, playing so much closer, I gained 2 levels that level, like, or in that stage. Hey, there we go. There we go. Oh, shoot. Oh, damn, I was right on top of that. Please, sir, can I have a bomb? I'm not even gonna build one by the end of the stage. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll save it for the next one. That's last stage. There's only 5 stages in each run, so. Oops. Is this game unique in that there's possible spoilers, maybe? What's up, Blitz? There is a story mode to it. I dig the... It's like I said, this game is metal as fuck. And yeah, it's like... Whatever, 2 billion... the year 2 billion or something like that. Yo, it's delightful. There are like... angels, they have been forced underground, so there's some cool lore to it, but it's all much more general thing as opposed to like explicit spoilers. Treasure Up Geo is the biggest struggle in the genre. Radiant Silver Gun, oh man. Oh dude, I didn't even think about Ikaruga. How did I not remember Ikaruga? Holy heck. Yeah, okay. That's probably my, if I had to pick a favorite shmup, yeah. Give me the green hearts. Oh, shoot. Oh, I missed. Damn, I keep ranking down on my medals. But yeah, I do love, man, like as you level up, your angel just gets huge. I'm handed for the unbridled atmosphere. I like it. Okay, and we got 3 VOMs here. So this should be... If I can line up... This boss has a fairly small weak spot. and your speed is so slow, if you get off time, it can be hard to get it back. See, yeah, I lost it there at the end. I probably could have tanked her on the third one. We got it. Almost like, yo, you're right, it does have a bit of that vibe. It has a bit of the, like, Metroid creepiness to it. I see what you're saying there, for sure. But dude, like, the art in this is absolutely gorgeous. I love the boss designs. The music is absolutely delightful. All right, so yeah, there's arcade mode, and then there's an original. So there's this chronicle mode, right? Which gives you a branching path set of stages that you get to go through. And some of them, like, end with various things. You can search for ranks on them. I do like it. And then there's a whole weapon setting, so you can go and customize. Like, as you play through, you unlock, or, like, you earn at, like, all these different weapon things, and you can trade them in for currency, basically, and then upgrade your primary weapon. You can upgrade your life, right? So it's this whole, like, level up roguelike map thing. You can go, not roguelike, but multi-run branching path kind of thing. It's like the branching paths from fucking, like, Puzzle Bobble and stuff. Reminds you of the later levels of Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Yeah. Yeah, there's like a lot of the aesthetics that they're pulling from in Angel at Dusk, like, I think is similar to some of the source materials that things like Castlevania and Metroid pulled from, right? Wait, Big Bang Blitz, are you serious? The Einhander team did the gummy ship areas in Kingdom Hearts? That is hilarious. I knew, like, oh man. I didn't quite dig the Kingdom Hearts 1 gummy ship areas, but Kingdom Hearts 2 was so much better. And then KH3 lets you make an Einhander gummy, of course. All right, what do I need? So I need a bunch more blue blood cells in order to unlock this next angel ship. Yeah, you just says KH3 except for those parts. So yeah, except for that one part. Fair. Yeah, man. Okay, that's the one thing about this this angel that I've chosen, the ship, is that it really requires point blanking to get the most out of your resources and experience. I need to make sure I'm collecting those globules just so that I'm, yeah. level up as fast as possible, especially early stages. This is not super risky. I should be able to get, yeah, both those, both the arms of those big ships. God, that's 5-part? Right, 2 eyes, the wings, and then the head. Also very generous that I feel this game destroys enemy bullets. Like, once you destroy the enemy, the bullets that they have generated are destroyed along with it, which is not a universal thing in many shooting games. Okay, yeah, let me get some blue hearts, get up close here. And those medals. Oh, shoot. I was not in the right position. Yeah, right? Bullet erasing is mainly the domain of Cave, which is why, like, I think I really appreciated Angel at Dusk when I realized that, oh no, we have way more. We have quite a bit in common with Cave. Especially, I feel, Dodonpachi, like DFK. This and Black Label feel similar in a lot of ways. Whoops. I totally hit the wrong button. Whatever. Has similar inertia too. For sure, I feel the like the full speed. This is like, oh, like the what is it? Power mode in DFK. Has there's the boost ship, right? Has the boost mode in normal, and in normal it's so freaking fast. Like, that's the kind of speed that it feels like. Check out those arms. But yeah, because of the not only the laser bullet erasing in this game, but because of the bullet erasing when you kill an enemy, it means that, like, rushing up to these groups and then ducking away is not necessarily as dangerous as it might be in some other shooters. So no, it's good. This is actually, like, honestly, I think this works as a great, like, preparation game. Even the tutorial in this game is actually really good. Right? And you're not worrying about running into enemies and getting destroyed by them, so, like, you can do these silly 360 maneuvers to get away from enemy bullets. It's actually super rewarding. Oh, you've been doing 1cc attempts on Black Label for 20 years. One day you'll get past stage 4. I'm starting out with the novice modes. Like, I was practicing 1.5 on like normal, and definitely I was like, oh, that's that might be a bridge too far. So I moved down to novice, and I did get a 1cc on novice, not Black Label, just 1.5. But it's like, it feels so good to get that as like, okay, I got it. I got something. It's a starting point, right? So that's ultimately, that's my goal, is I want to get, I'm going to try to get a novice 1cc on Black Label, and then I want to try to get a 1cc on normal for either one of those games. Because I kind of like the meter managements in both of them. So, like, I'm happy to swap between them. That's honestly, the arranges in the shooting game genre is something that I did not understand for the longest time. I'm like, why are all of these, like, minor revisions so impactful? But it's like, they're not actually that minor a lot of the time. Some of them are pretty significant. And yeah, no, it does really, once you understand some more of the nuance of shooting games as a genre, you could be like, oh, okay. Like, they are doing something really interesting with this arrangement, which is why it's its own arrangement. There's a lot of crossover, but these things aren't, like, universal, right? So, I don't know. I've become much more amenable to the idea and much more enamored with the idea. All right. See? Take out the frickin' limbs, man. Gamers go, this isn't Zero Ranger, I'm afraid. What's going on? Yo, Griffey, what's up? Game looks sick, never heard of it before. Yeah, I just discovered it on the winter Steam sale here, and I was just like, holy shit, this game looks fucking sick. Like, are you kidding me? This is like metal album cover art kinda delightful. Okay, I'm gonna lose durability. No, I'm not falling for that trick, dude. It is a fantastic starting shmup. Oh yeah, I was just saying that. Great training mode, great tutorial. Difficult. Teaches you a lot of kind of the components of different shooters, but not like impossible. Like, it's not a game meant to be like, oh, you're never going to be able to 1cc it. Let me just do it. Oh no, I lost the sweet spot. Right, and it's cool. So even after you beat the boss, during their, like, death animation, you have a chance to take out all the various limbs and collect their medals. Yeah, it's meant to be a deconstruction, you're right. Like, the way they talk about the game, and they talk about, like, within the game, they talk about the genre of shmups, and it's like, it is very, like, knowing in its presentation, I think, which I think is super cool. Oh yeah, and absolutely, and I think what I would say is, like, I think the biggest flaw of shmups for your, like, average player is that there's not enough, right? It's like there's the mode, and then there's, like, do these extra things to make it more challenging. And if it's already really challenging at its base, that doesn't seem like a lot of bang for your buck, basically. It's like, what am I doing here outside of banging my head against the wall, right? And there's a lot of joy in that. Like, that's... but, like, yeah, also, it can feel like there's sometimes not a lot there. So having the Chronicle mode, where you can do this, like, leveling up, you can do this multiple runs, you don't have to worry about full clears or anything. You're just like, by virtue of playing, you're getting stuff, and it lets you do more stuff and level up, and that's, it's a super good rhythm and loop, right? Don't lose the medals. Gotta get up there and point blank them. Oh, Sin and Punishment, yes. Another really good one. Damn, I gotta go back to Sin and Punishment, yes. Hello, lady on a brain. We're saving it for the last level. We'll go into level 5 or stage 5 with one bomb. See, and look, you can see now, right? My experience rate. I haven't gotten hit basically the entire game, and so my experience rate is at full, and so I'm at level 10 instead of level 8 when I... Damn it! I hit the wrong button again. Instead of level 8 when I ended the game last time, right? Oh. We're good. We're good. Whew, Lord. Okay, just some micro positioning. Just a little bit of micro positioning between friends, right? Man, these big guys stay just outside of your range here. Just outside of your range and just like fucking carpet bomb you with those little squiggly bullets. Okay, whoa! Okay, just gotta cover path through the resistant bullets. Yo, KO, what's up? Happy New Year. Okay, I need more of these because I need a VOM. See, and that's kind of like the trade-off, right? So you could use your laser, which has all of these, like bullet wiping options or bullet wiping abilities, or you can go with your regular weapon, which will give you way more of the blood cells, which will charge your bomb and charge your stamina. Where is your head, little dude? Damn, yeah, this last boss has a silly small weak point. No, my options don't have a hurt box at all. My hurt box is just that little, that pixel or that group of pixels in the center of my center mass there, right? So actually, that crosshair can be turned on or off, but it helps you kind of track stuff down. Yo, KO, though, appreciate you swinging through, friend. As always, hope you're having a good New Year. Oh, so freaking gorgeous. And yeah, like I said, the like story in this is super wild and delightful. If you like kind of the lore and the Christian mythology associated stuff with like Evangelion, then you will like what they've got going on in Angel at Dusk. That's for damn sure. Any interest in Lies of P? I have been doing that. I was lurking in your stream the other day just to see what it's all about. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. It looks cool. It looks like, you know, a Dark Souls-y the gothic adventure, right? But I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to play it. I need to look at it more to see what's going on with it. Gakuin 2, forerunner of the system at least, largely due to the lackluster space area part. But Liza P saying your 2023 Game of the Year changed the industry. Yeah, just like, I've only seen what I've seen at first glance, right? So yeah, like I said, so for this Chronicle mode, you can go through and customize your own angel. So you have different weapon types. You have missiles, you can have piercing bullets, you can have your regular lasers, different spreads, and they all have different abilities, consuming different things. So like, you can get really down into the nitty gritty if you care to with this. And this is the other thing where I'm like, okay, this is a huge map too. I have no idea how high this goes, but if this keeps going, man, like this is... Tend to not be crazy about shooting less, but enjoy them. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is it, where it's like, I've always really enjoyed them, but I have never really gotten good enough at them outside of like specific games like R-Type to really like, I think, appreciate them for all they're worth. And I think that's it. They're similar to on-rails games in some ways in terms of like how you end up having to optimize the games, how you end up playing through them. All right, so I have a bit of a different loadout on this dude, right? So you can see I accidentally shot off my bomb at the start, which is a proper bomb. And then this is a charge shot. So instead of the laser, it's like a fireball that you set off, right? And it means that you get a little bit more like maneuverability, where you can like whip this off and then go and deal with another threat, right? And you can see its durability works the same. That the longer it stays there, it goes green, and it loses all of its durability. But it still does damage. Armored Core has been fantastic. I've really been enjoying Armored Core. I joked about it, but I think Armored Core is my favorite Dark Souls game. It's got a lot of the, like, loadout customization that that Dark Souls does. It has a lot of the deep lore that is trickled out that you can discover in the world that Dark Souls does. The missions and the world structure is fundamentally different, but that actually works better for me, where I'm like, I can sit down for a minute for a mission for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then go away and do something else, and that works way better than sitting down for like an hour or two in a Dark Souls game where I have to like reorient myself in the world and be like, okay, get to where I'm going. No, Armored Core, I get in and I'm like, mission, great. Challenge, great. Go and try a new loadout, awesome. Right? So that, like, it vibes way better with like the way I play as just a casual player. Which I think for me is always the biggest struggle with those games. I need a short form RPG, man. Where is the Dragon Quest style game that I could play in 15-minute increments that isn't like a gacha game? I think that's what I really need. Right, the illustration. Like I said, man, beautiful art. Like, combination of just like biblically accurate angels. Oh yeah, Radiant Historia on the DS, is that... Is that gonna be the one for me then? Alright. I never played it. I missed a lot of the DS RPGs, honestly. Man, angelic body horror though? Guys, what's not to love? All right. It's your short form RPG of choice. Good stuff. All right. I'm curious, how is it short form? Like, I'm just wondering how it handles that. Because, like, I don't know, right? I mean, if it's more... I mean, even maybe some of the... Because I was thinking, if it's like a mystery dungeon or Etrian Odyssey or something like that, doing runs into a dungeon might be better, right? I might be able to handle a run as opposed to an exploration in an RPG. I'll have to take a look-see. But alright, here's what we do. Lots of little dead ends to explore in the story that are bite-sized when you find the good ending pass. Oh, while you find the good ending pass. Alright, alright. I think that's it. So long as I'm able to gear up, basically, right? Like, if I have put the game down for a week, can I come back to it and get to the getting good, basically? What's the time to Hadouken on the RPG kind of thing, right? Cool, yeah, it doesn't have to be short form, but it leads itself to that given the time travel, exploration, the good and bad endings. Okay, see, yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, if I can delve in and get a bit, man, because like I remember it was oh god, it was an RPG on the 3DS. I keep wanting to call it Senua's Sacrifice. That's not it. It was like Setsua, Legend of Setsua or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. Um, but it was a really great RPG. But they did that RPG thing where after 20 hours they get you to what seems like the end of the game, and then they're like, "Oh no, this is just the beginning." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I had a really lovely 20 hours in this RPG, and I'm kind of done with it now, right? And it's like, instead of sending me off on another grand adventure after 20 hours for another 20 or 30 hours, I'm like, why couldn't I could have just had that be the end, right? Or at least if it was doled out in a different way, it might actually make me more likely to keep coming back to it. No, Senua's Sacrifice is definitely not a portable RPG, which is why I'm like, I know that's not the name of the game, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. Ugh. Draws parallel how 999 works? Okay. Because that like I said, that is always my issue. My like, yeah, but it's an RPG instead of a visual novel. Like, I always come back to an RPG and end up being like, what is going on? And it takes so long for me to just reorient myself that I'm just like, all right, I guess this gets put over here, right? And you just never come back to it. So, like, even when I was doing weekly Dark Souls streams, I would have to go back and watch like the end of my last stream just to be like, all right, get myself up to speed. Where was I? What did I do last? I mean, that's way better than the sequel, Nine Dabs, Nine Dudes, Nine Donkeys. But yeah, so yeah, having smaller self-contained bits makes a lot of sense. Yeah, all builds up to something you'll probably remember due to the reiteration. Yeah, right. I almost feel like Persona is almost that, right? Like, because you have like the day cycles and shit like that, where Persona lends itself where like, oh no, I can go and I can do a couple things, I can talk to some people, I can do a little outing, and I can come back. But because the story is so thoroughly, I don't know, large scale in my mind, that it's harder for me to do that. Like, coming back and not knowing what's happened makes it even, because it's so much about what happened on that day. What did I do, right? What do I build on? That it actually makes it hard. But like, it almost feels like it could work. Oh, that's really good. Having characters remind you of those objective and natural ways. You have the quest log later. Yeah. Uh, Quest logs, so freaking important. And then, yeah, just having. I mean, that I can't. I was playing an RPG. I was playing an older RPG recently, and it was like I went to a character and they explained something to me, and I'm like, great. And if I forget, I can go back to them, and I go back to them, and the only line they'll give me is something like, "And don't forget to do the thing that I asked." And I'm like, I can't wait for you to accomplish your mission for me. And I'm like, okay, but what was the mission? Like, it has been 4 weeks since I have played this game. Tell me what and there's no quest log. And the character is just like, you need to come back here. I'm like, oh God. Oh, lordy. All right. All right, I need to take myself a little break. I need to grab a drink. I need to come back, and we're bracing ourselves, and we're going to head into some Dodonpachi, man. It is Danmaku bullet hell time. Proper classic cave shooter. All right. Let's do it, man. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll be right back. Stick with me, friends. Take a stretch break yourselves. We got to watch our backs, and stay hydrated. See you in a minute. Welcome back, my friends. How y'all doing? Let us get back into it, man. Hope everyone's doing well. Staying hydrated. Got my drink. And we are getting into some cave shooters. Let me boot up some Dodonpachi. DFK, as they call it. Eternal Champions. When is Eternal Eternal Champions is forever. Yo, okay, has anybody else had issues this week? All of my like gamepad viewers, input readers in OBS no longer work. Like, I don't know what's up with that, but like fight stick motion, gamepad viewer, everything that I've tried only works when OBS is in focus now. I'm like, I don't know what is going on, but super freaking strange. Whoa, hello, volume. Yeah, Eternal Champions is forever. Absolutely. All right. We're going to kick it off with DFK 1.5, which is kind of the standard version, I guess, of DFK. Yes, awesome music, FGC Wizard, absolutely. So we have 3 ship types. Type B has a kind of like trailing laser or like a bullet pattern. Type C has the strongest laser, which is what I'm going with. Yo, Master Hooligans, thank you. And then there's 3 styles. So bomb is kind of like your beginner style. Strong style is bomb, but better. And power style is a different mode entirely, which lets you swap between 2 styles or 2 modes of your ship, like a super fast and weaker one, and then a slower and stronger one. So power style is, I guess, the recommended one for score runs, but I'm about survival in these games at this point. So that's what I'm going for right now. So DFK is like pretty approachable in terms of being a survivable bullet hell shooter, in part because the game has autobomb on by default. So if I take a hit, one of my bombs will just spawn like a mini bomb explosion. Which makes like 1cc'ing the game significantly easier because you can collect more bombs as time goes on. And every time you die, actually, you respawn with more bombs than you did with your first life. So you get, like, basically, if you consider a bomb a life, you get, like, what, 15 or 20 lives? Okay, and here I'm going to use my hypermeter, which this cancels all the bullets and turns them into little point stars. And then I have to use my laser to counter the boss's lasers. There we go. Does this count as a booba shooter? No, I would not say this is a booba shooter. It is totally like, it is totally an anime girl shooter. All right. So this is okay. So I have been looking into like tips for how to get better. Oh, see, there you go. Got hit, autobomb. How do you get better at shmups? How do you learn them? And oh boy, there is a lot of information about shooting games out there, but not a lot of it seems to be geared towards the novice player. And so like one of the core concepts is streaming of bullets, where you want to like put yourself in a position where enemy bullets basically take up the same position so that there's less threats for you on screen. But like no one really tells you how to do that. Oh shoot. See, another hit. Autobomb comes into play. But one of the ways... There we go. Collect that. One of the ways you can stream bullets is actually by going in this kind of U shape, where the way it'll tend to... And if you take a little pause and then go into another U shape, the enemy bullets tend to leave this little bit of a gap. They'll overlap the same spot, and allow you a place to get through, right? Dang it. Right into it. All right, here. Time for the hyper. I'm not dealing with this pattern. Go back down, stay away from the waves. Here we go. We got it. Yo, no sweat, Doors. Take it easy. Always fun hanging out. Appreciate you swinging by the basement. Adios. All right, so we are no death through level 2. But I've only got one bomb left. So I have to be careful here. Okay, and so one of the key scoring techniques here is actually using your hyper, because hypers will turn all of the enemy bullets. It like will add to your score counter or your combo counter. So it's a really easy way to build up a high combo counter, is just by absorbing a lot of enemy bullets. But you can also absorb, of course, lasers, right? And so if you're in hyper mode and you start absorbing an enemy laser at point blank, it'll like multiply the number of like add a multiplier basically to that combo count. So you can like really, and you'll see a little later on in one of these stages. Dang it. All right. That's fine. I got an extra life because I hit 10 million, so... hyper. This game seems to have a whole lot of fuck this mechanics, lots of hard counters. Yeah, absolutely, right? And the thing is that they're all usually like resource gated or meter gated in some way, right? So the hyper, I only have access to, you see at the top left, there's that bar that's counting up. When that flashes, then I have access to a hyper. Let me survive this. Right? So right now I don't have access to a hyper, so I can't just skip a pattern that is bad for me, right? So I gotta hold this until I build up. And you can only build up hypermeter, basically, at least against bosses, with your laser. So you're stuck in moving slow, which is super dangerous, right? So now I have it. And I will save it. Do a little micro dodging. Oh, shoot. Missed it. Oh, shoot. Missed it again. But yeah, no, you're right. There are like a lot of hard counters, but you might not always have access to them. So it's about like managing your resources so that you can have the best option at the best time, basically, right? Fuck. See, and now I'm running out of bombs. Oh, shoot. I did not realize how close I was to killing that boss. I shouldn't have popped the hyper. It does mean I should start this next stage with the hyperactive. And that's one of the tricks, actually, because your hyper has different ranks. And if you use a high rank hyper at the end of one stage, you'll start the next stage with that higher rank hyper, and it'll make it easier to build up points at the very beginning of a stage. Yeah, it's very unique with its resource management. And this is it, like, no one told me how cool it was, because they were busy talking to themselves about Ura routes and like optimal fucking B routes and shit, right? And I'm like, okay, but like why? And yeah, there is a ton of really cool why in there once you realize it, right? But that's the thing, it's really opaque and it's hard to tell sometimes, right? I think it's the same thing. It is very similar to fighting games in that way, where it's like, I understand the beauty and the joy of fighting games because I've been playing them for so long. The uninitiated might not get that. And yeah, it's part of it is about explaining or showing people why it's so great, right? Which can be hard to do when there's like an execution barrier associated with it. And as I was saying earlier, with the different like arrangements, right? That they all have slightly different combo mechanics or meter management or resource mechanics, right? So they all work a little bit differently and put like truly unique spins on the formula of the core game. And so, reminder that this is the novice mode, so there are way fewer and way less challenging bullet patterns in this than there is in the normal version of the game, right? And it's still very challenging. And so I think that is the one thing I will say, is that if you're looking to get into a bullet hell shooter and you're like, oh, but I'm not good enough, I'll play the novice version and that's not the real version, trust me. It's just as real of the real version as any other one. And it's actually a great starting point. Because it's not that these games, even on novice, are easy. So it really gives you somewhere to work from and kind of like step up into the standard mode or the various arrangements. Sweet, okay. Yeah, sometimes you don't always want to eat ghost peppers. Exactly. And even some basic things, like your combo doesn't drop when you autobomb in Novice. It does drop on the normal mode. But it means that you still get the joy of like racking up super high scores, right? And you don't have to worry about having no hit runs or anything in order to do that. Okay, got you out of that mode. Avoid the giant fucking balls. Hate those things. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's a really great way of putting it there, Master Hooligans, is that they're different spice levels, right? And this is a spicy genre, so like, having that really matters. I think, yeah, my appreciation for the novice modes has grown greatly as the more I've played these. And they do genuinely, like, if you go from normal to novice, you're like, oh, I can do this. And then going back to the normal mode from novice means you're like, oh, you know what? It's not actually as brutal as I imagined it. Still super difficult, right? Oh shit, that was bad. As they should be. These are difficult games. Difficult games are good. All right. So here is where I will show you. If I use my hyper and I get right up next to this laser, you'll see that like I'm already at 1,500 points, right? Like the exponential combo counter growth from point blanking a laser when you're in hyper is like, that is one of the keys to like score runs, if that's what you're after. Yeah, every time you pick up a shmup, right? And that's it. There are so many which are just like, oh no, I'm gonna beat your head against the wall. You're not even gonna beat your own head against it. Genuinely, Angel at Dusk, I would highly recommend it. Looks great, sounds great, plays great, not super challenging. So here you'll see me trying to stream these bullets into the same spot, and then I do a little like up down pause, and it tends to leave a gap in the bullet streams for me to cross back through, right? And that's really like this is like the only like proper bullet strat that I know is this. It's like a little U shape with a pause at the top and then another U shape. Okay, here is the fucking Ring of Death. So this is the most notorious spot in the game, where there's a mixture of lasers and bullets, and there's these floating fucking rings of things that shoot them. So you can hyper and tap between bullet and laser to basically absorb them all, but now it's about dodging the bullets and absorbing the lasers and taking out as many enemies in the right like pattern as possible. Yeah, it's nice that the hyper beam can struggle. There are definitely patterns and situations where they're like I said, it's about resource management and trade-off, right? So there are situations where it seems like what the thing you have is OP, and it might be, but it's only it's only OP until it's not. Because even this, right? You still have to worry about getting hit by the physical enemies. and you have to try to time your hypers so that you're getting through the most dangerous portions, right? And that's just for survival, because the most dangerous portions aren't necessarily the most profitable for combo scoring. So if you're going for a combo game, then you're not going to want to hyper necessarily just to save yourself, right? But it does mean that if you can spend some time between these lasers while hypering, which I lost it now because I got blown up, then you can rack up an insane combo score. Like yeah. Man, one of my big struggles is chaining my combos from certain mini-bosses. Like this one starts with heavy enemies, and I guess I just don't know the position. You can use... If you're hitting an enemy with a laser, your combo won't drop. So I think maybe that's really what I need to do, is just find out where their location is and beam them with a laser immediately. And like realistically, I'm probably spending too much time near the bottom of the screen, so enemies get on screen and can actually launch their bullet patterns, which is the more dangerous thing, right? If I kill them before they shoot, I don't have to worry about their shots. All right, here we go. Oh, I flew too close to the sun. But look at that, I was just there for a second and I'm already at 1750 hits, right? And it recharged my hyper meter that I already have another hyper, so I can do this now. And get away from, oh no! See, I needed to kill the ship and then move my way into the lasers to collect more. And to hyper back up. Because I could have another hyper right now and not have to deal with this. But that's okay, I got through it. I feel like there's another laser turret coming up ahead, but... Oh no, wait, no, giant wave. Okay. Try to point blank for a bit, get the extra damage. Oh yeah, and so you can see, if I'm not holding my laser on her, I lose my points, right? I lose my hit score. There we go. And now we hyper, because fudge these canisters. This is my least favorite pattern. And then the lasers come out, so you gotta swap. And make sure you're not getting hit by any of the physical ones so you don't lose your hyper. There you go, auto bombs. Oh, that is one of my least favorite patterns. Point blank. Got hit with the canister. And then these explosions can also hit you, obviously, right? That's a tough one, too. Okay, coming up to the end. Let's hyper through this. There you go. Don't have to deal with the last pattern. All right. Hey, okay, that's not terrible. I had a rough start, but we got into that one. Thank you. We got the 1cc. I didn't even hit the next extra. I would have gotten an extra life even. Such good music. Ugh, all right. All right, I've gotten a handful of 1cc's on Novice at this point. I'm pretty pleased with that. See, now the question is, do we try for the second loop, which means collecting 35 Bs and then 1cc'ing the first loop? Or do we try the second route in a one loop? So you can do something to get onto a more challenging path, which is a different set of stages. So those are my two big questions. And yo, Mohas, I would be down for some UMK3As someday, for sure. We haven't done that in a bit. So yeah, usually I'm 6 billion, so we got 8 billion that run. I've gotten a couple over 10. All right, let's try for the alternate route, the Ura route. And maybe we'll get enough Bs to get a second loop. Maybe. So we gotta, in stage 1 here, we have to, I believe it's destroy the tankers before the giant tanks roll them over. So I'm gonna have to play a little close. Let me get that bead just in case. And I think this has done it. It should warp me over. Or did I miss it? Do I also need to have hyper in time? Yeah, I missed it. Okay.
Three, two, one, go.
Thankfully, it's right at the beginning. Oh my god. I'm not even... What is wrong with me? Just rubbing my face against the top of the screen. Ow. See, I don't know if I got that. I definitely got that last one. I don't think I got it. It's so funny, man. The first time that I played this game, I did that. right? And it's funny because the first tutorial that I saw was like, don't worry about it. You're not going to do it accidentally. And I'm like, dude, my first run, I did it accidentally. What are you talking about? But yeah, there's this set of requirements, and generally speaking, it is destroy those buildings, the silos, before the tanks get to them, which I may or may not have done there. And then I believe it's also have a full hyper. There you go. And then it does this. And it warps you to a mid-boss from the original Dodonpachi. Okay, so cool. Now I'm on a more difficult path, which has different enemies, different level layout, and more bees. And so you can get to the second path, or the second loop of the game, by collecting at least 35 of them throughout the course of the game, and then once CCing it. But there are more bees on this Ura path. So long as I collect all the bees in a stage, or don't die on a mid-boss, or don't get hit on a mid-boss, then I will stay on this path. But yeah, man, it's so funny that the shooting game community talks a lot about like a lot of the hyper specifics, the nuance of the combo systems and like chaining and stuff like that. But then like basic stuff, like if you look up what's the difference between my regular shot and a laser, it's actually remarkably hard to find that information. So like I found out about these like Ura routes and some of these alternate things like when I first looked into it, and I was just like, yeah, but what about the basics? So it's like when I ran into it, I at least knew what was happening, but hoo boy. All right, so still on it. So it has to be no, I think it's don't take a hit. I can also get a ton of extra on my combo. Nice. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Let's clear out those lasers, and... oh shit, I auto-bombed. I thought I got away from the tank, but no. Hey, I got an extend already? Okay. Yo, the fucking... you get so many more points going the alternate route. It's kind of wild. There's a huge market for content targeting the casual shmup crowd. I really think there is, honestly. It does sound oxymoronic, it really, or anachronistic, right? Like, but I think there is a lot of interest in this. They are really, really easy to get into at a base level. Ouch. But they're also ridiculously challenging. Okay, bless the slowdown. Big point multiplier, thanks to my combo. Nice. If someone cultivated a notion there could be. Well, and I think there is. I think there is a core of just your average gamer who would play these if they didn't think they were so hard or didn't think they were so boring. And they wouldn't be so boring if you got into some of the nuance, but getting into the nuance is hard, right? So that I think that's kind of like the divide, right? And when there's nothing from the community, and I think for the longest time this was an issue with the fighting game community, much less so these days, right? But yeah, you can end up in this situation where there's no market because no one's doing it, and so yeah, like you said, it takes that cultivation. I will say, the handful of people I did find doing beginner content for shooters, particularly Dodonpachi games and cave shooters, I like got immediate follows, and all the shit that they're doing is really good. Like comparable to all of the like good novice content for fighting game, for fighting game tutorials. Just made it out of that one. Oh lordy, here we go. Okay, still on the Ura path. Let's do it. No! Ah, shoot. I think I'm off of it now. Yeah. Because I definitely... I'm gonna say I definitely missed one of the bees in the first portion of that stage. I know. I thought I had it. I thought I had enough damage output that the bullets would have been destroyed, but I misread it. Oh shoot, and that was sloppy. All right, hang on. Okay, hyper just in time. I even got a 1-up. Oh! Silly me. All right. If you break B chain, it's a huge loss. But man, no, very much like fighting games in a way, I think, where I need to be willing to approach other genres like I do fighting games, because setting your own goals, small attainable goals, like knowing that you don't have to be the best right away, in fact, at all. Ah, so close. Okay, I got hyper now. Almost in the final phase. I might not even need to use it. There we go. Yeah, and as it should be, right? But I think it is... Like, I don't treat most games that I play, even challenging games, execution-based games, right? Like, I don't approach rhythm games like that. I don't approach puzzle games like that. But I do approach shoot-'em-ups and fighting games like that, right? But yeah, that kind of discipline, the self-direction when playing becomes really important. And that's the thing is, like, I already do that. I already do that thing. So right, it's, oh shit, I missed the fucking beat. Right, so yeah, I shouldn't, I don't know, right? It's almost like, why am I surprising myself with that I have to play other challenging games in that fashion? Yeah, just take the wing out. We're good. Expectations have been the bane. Let me read chat. Expectations have been the bane of gaming genre. When people can accept the challenge. If the floor of said challenge seems too demanding, people are less likely to try to attempt to avoid frustration. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's, well, and this is it. And I think because shmups can be so unbelievably easily trivialized just by pumping quarters. You can just feed quarters into the machine and beat it. And I think that is, in part, has to do with the decline of shmups and beat-em-ups as, like, prevalent and mainstream genres. Right? Is that the move to home consoles and away from arcades trivialized them. And then people were like, well, if it's just about the quarters, what's the point? And just feeding quarters doesn't actually make the game more fun, even if it lets you beat it. So yeah, that's... I can see why people might not get it if that's how they interact with it. No! Ah, it's fine. Here, let me hyper. Get all these stars. Yeah, right, and I think that's it. Score attack. But more than score attack, though, like, just clears. Like, clear the game. 1 credit clear the game, right? 2 all the game. Those, like, doing those things, setting those goals has been a real big thing from where I said to myself, I don't have to worry about, I'm not going to get 468 billion points, right? But that's fine. I don't have to. I can focus on 1cc's. I can focus on going from novice to normal, right? But I think, yeah, ultimately you're right, that they do. I think the end game for many of them, I think, is score runs. Right? But in terms of how do you self-direct, what are the smaller goals that you can make along the way? The different modes, the different labels, the different levels of clearing and efficiency at clearing, going alternate routes, right? Like, those things are are all those are all stepping stones. And then once you're able to accomplish some of the more difficult ones, going back and saying, oh, I'm gonna go to the normal mode now, or I'm gonna try for a score at this point.
ミッション開始です。
So yeah, I don't think there's any way in hell that I got 35, or I will get 35 Bs by the end of this stage. So I don't think second loop is happening, and we're out of the Ura loop, so fewer opportunities. Oh yeah, and then there's a ton of practice options, as you say. Yeah, I haven't actually gone through any of the practice options for DFK yet, but that is the thing where you can take. You have an opportunity now, instead of being like, I have to have a run that does X, gets this far to try the final stages. You can just go and practice them, right? Which makes a huge difference. And so yeah, in terms of how difficult these games are to learn, they're way easier to learn these days just through the games themselves. Okay, so into the Wheel of Death. We go top right to take out these assholes. And then I believe it's bottom right to get the B. And then we ride bottom right out to the side. And then we get away from the wheel for a moment. Okay, I'm starting to remember the pattern. This is legitimately, like, the most challenging part of the game. And this on normal, with, like, twice the number of bullets, is so difficult. Like, legitimately. Right, this part's always a struggle for me, coming back down. I always get picked off by that. Then yeah, bottom right to get that. You got to get out of the loop before it closes in on you. And then far to the left to take out these fast shooting, like spinning guys. And so yeah, once again, a little bit of a reprieve as we come back up. I have hyper. So I am going to use it. Because, yeah, there's a couple B opportunities in there. And then they want you back in the center before the final escape. Oh, seriously? Some of them have ghosts? That's really cool. That makes total sense, man. Dude, ghost trials in, like, racing games, one of my favorite things, legitimately. It was such a good learning tool. Whoops. I really could have used that bomb. So the bomb items that appear actually refill all of your bombs? Oftentimes it's good to like, because you get one before bosses. So oftentimes it's good to use all your bombs and then try to refill, but they will disappear and like fly away eventually. Yeah, man, Ghost Trials is fun. This is how has that not been like? I'm glad that it's there in this for sure, right? But like, yeah, how has that not become more commonplace? Oh, replay takeover. See, and this is where like these kind of genres need to learn from each other. Fighting games need to learn from shmups, need to learn from rhythm games. Fucking hate these big ships. Oh my lord, I hate them so much. This has been a very sloppy stage. Oh, seriously? The Side Dojo has a replay takeover? That is beautiful. Bare bones, but it works. Hey man, that's sometimes that's what you get. What did I do? Okay, okay. Full bomb, full hyper. One life. Oh, lordy. Okay. Okay. I'm desperate. Unfortunately, I am not going to get anywhere close to all the way through this pattern now. One. All right, all right. I got away with one. Good. Arg. Okay. Last life. We got this, right, guys? We got full bombs. Let's use them. We don't only have to auto bomb. Okay, apparently this is how we're getting through it. I'm not gonna crack 10 million. That's fine. That's fine. Nine though. That's still good. Yo, I still got 1 CC. I'm happy with that. A no miss run would be really nice, I got to admit. Woo! We got him. Hands up in chats, friends. So, the lore of Dodonpachi is also apparently insane because, like, you're going back in time to, like, wage war to fix errors in the timeline, and then it never works. Because, guys, time travel doesn't work. Not even once. Just don't do it. How long would this endless series of conflicts continue? Perhaps the past cannot be changed. Which really, that is...
ゲームオーバー。お疲れ様でした。
that is an important life lesson. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's try... Whoops. I'm gonna save Black Label for another day, I think. But do you want to see what normal looks like? So we've been trained on 1.5 now. And we can take a look at what the normal game patterns are. Let's see, I have not 1CC'd normal yet. That is like, honestly, probably, I feel like that should be my next big goal, but no, I think there are other interim goals we can work on, because it's like already you can see that just like more bullets are getting through, right? But everything is kind of more difficult. So your combo counter drains faster, and you can lose your hit counter way easier. If you autobomb, you lose your hits, and it breaks your counter. You can see that there's like an extra bullet pattern on that mid boss, right? But like all the same strategies apply. So like the stuff's in the same spot. You still want to try to stream bullets. We got through it. All right. And here we hyper. Oh shoot. I should have been more careful, and I could have gotten away without getting hit that last time. But you can tell, like, so my score is like a fraction of what it was on the easy route, and that's just because it's like scoring is made so much easier, right? But I kind of like how the novice actually scales everything down to that, where it's like, look, it's not that you don't get to do crazy combos in novice. It's just it's easier to do. You're not gonna be able to do it in that way in the normal game, but that's fine. You get the joy of it. And this is why I am like, legitimately, I have no problem with an easy mode for Dark Souls, because the person who needs an easy mode on Dark Souls is gonna get the same feeling that you get from normal mode Dark Souls from an easy mode. So, and that's it. It's people who are like, no, Danmaku games aren't for me, might play a novice mode and say that is actually the perfect level of spice, as was put earlier on in the stream. I almost got away with that. Exactly, the joy of dodging and shooting is still there. A Dark Souls easy mode for someone who is not equipped for the normal mode is going to be just as challenging for them, and is going to give them that sense of dread and that sense of having to progress and like retry. Absolutely. And they still get the lore, right? Like, they don't lose out on that. They still experience the world. I hate those waves. The like liquid, like squirt gun pattern. Oh, jeez. Oh, and I was like 100 frames off. Oh, so sad, so sad. I want to keep those bombs, man. Yeah, Denmaku Bullet, not for you, not at least not to get good at, right? And that's it. And it's like, but they don't have to be, and that's kind of, once again, like, I surprise myself sometimes with how much I am like, I can accept the, I need to put in the work for fighting games, but I can't accept it for other genres, and like that's a thing that's on me. But like, yeah, it just sometimes it just takes a little bit of reminding that, yeah, you don't have to play fighting games in tournament. You don't even have to play them online against other people. There are so many ways to play them. Right, but we see how much more difficult, like, everyone has, there are like base patterns for enemies, and then there are like secondary patterns, and basically they remove the secondary patterns for the novice mode, right? But having the extra ones there means that you can't just like sit through, because a lot of the patterns in this game are actually static, right? They don't change. If you find a safe spot for one of the patterns, for a static one, you can just stay in the same spot and you'll be fine. But it's all of the other non-static patterns that work around it that force you to move and do stuff, right? Which is what creates the danger. Couldn't get down fast enough. Most people think it's about, yeah, discrete reactions or polished movement, and that helps. Yeah, it helps, but that's not what these games are about. Oh god, you see this? It's because, like, I don't know that pattern. I'm not familiar with the full pattern because I've been playing on Novice. But yeah, it's the different, there's micro dodging and macro dodging. And micro dodging is that specific thing. The macro dodging is the streaming of the bullets and understanding the patterns. It all comes down to having a plan to use all the tools at your disposal effectively. That 100% it. And it is, once again, there's a reason there's crossover, I think, between shmups and fighting games. And in part, it's because of that. You're right. And that's one of the joys of fighting games, is finding the right use of the right tools at the right time, not necessarily having to be able to do mad one-frame links. Static patterns doesn't sound that fun. Not crazy about memorization. So, yeah, and it's about recognizing that it's not that, like, once again, it's not like this. Those pink ones are static patterns, right? These are all dynamic patterns. Or actually, no, I think the blue ones are static, right? So, like, it's, the challenge is, hey, can I recognize which is which in the maelstrom of bullets that I'm currently dealing with, right? and recognizing that that actually isn't a threat to me, right? Or its threat vector is neutralized if I just stay still. So yeah, oftentimes it is a little bit less about recognizing the specific pattern and instead recognizing the type. Yeah, and the time pressure and quick base reaction is frustrating. For sure, for sure. And that's it. And I think that's, for some folks, you're right. I think it's the having all of those things layered on top of each other just gets to be a little bit too much. I feel that. I love Dojo Masters as a fighting game, but its mental stack requirement is ridiculously high. And it means that I can't play that game for very long. And I could understand why someone might not be able to play it at all. Yeah, the other ones are tracking or shooting bullets, which you got to learn how to kind of manipulate and dodge, right? Right, but yeah, no, it's so much about pattern recognition, being able to understand, oh, these types of enemies work in this fashion. So for this big wing guy, I can actually get right up close to him and micro dodge just along, I can micro dodge just along the edge of his wing and avoid most of his patterns, and then just have to like go up and down to avoid a couple stray ones. All right, let's see. I mean, in fairness to me, I have been talking a lot throughout this, and I usually am like dead set focused. But let's see how many credits it's going to take to get through here. Because we're, what, stage 4? Or are we on stage 5 now? But yeah, no, that like balance though. Oh, we're on 4. Okay. That balance now of dynamic patterns, static patterns, the suicide shot, and then the lasers, which in this game you have to like swap between 2 firing modes in order to do, right? Like, yeah, all that management is, I don't know, it's fundamentally fascinating if you ask me. And then also, look at this. I get to blow up shit on screen and a bunch of fucking stars fall down and I collect them all, and that makes me feel good. Like, at a very, very core level, things go boom, I get medals is super good. This is good, yeah. So yeah, I'm so focused on the enemy patterns and those guys, the helicopters coming down, that I completely forget about, I need the extra speed for rapid fire mobility, like movement, right? So I completely forget about these laser turrets coming in and they just body me. Oh, damn, I went too fast and I went right into the pink wave. All right. You think you can tolerate Dojo Masters? Because, well, you're keeping track of a lot of stuff. It makes me bearable. Due to less execution dexterity. Yeah, and that's one of the ways that they balance that, is they reduce the execution requirement and the length of rounds, but then they increase the number of rounds and the pace of play, which then kind of like brings it back to a like hard to manage kind of thing, right? Dang it. Oh, and yeah, these guys, so much more difficult. because there's the extra, those giant static patterns coming out of the balls. So frustrating. Like it's a death trap. We're just pumping quarters, man. That's fine. Ah! Not the Amiga balls. I know, right? And I was like, and so that's it, where I'm like, I was not great with my laser pattern early on in that fight. So I had to let it go that way. Like I could, if I was a little bit more accurate earlier on, they wouldn't have closed in on me like that, and I could have escaped without the auto bomb, right? I don't know, the little things like that, being able to recognize those bits and how they piece together into like a wider game plan, super interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I am gonna get romped. I want to get to the laser wheels, at least so y'all can see what it's like there. And why they are so, like, notorious in this game, in DFK. I can't do it, guys. Oh, man. I think my best run on normal mode got me to, it was like a two credit clear? It might have been a 3 credit clear? Switch to 3D only hurt the game design overall, you think? I mean, I could feel that. Oh, shit. Okay, this mini boss is like, even on novice, is probably my biggest struggle point. This is probably one of the bosses I should go in and legitimately practice against. And I can start there and then try for the wheels, which come right after it. Oh shit, is that him? That's awesome. I didn't realize that was the same guy. All right, here we go. Here we go, kids. Top right, take out those guys. See, and like those waves of blue, like I don't have, okay, I have hyper now, but I should save it realistically. Ah, fuck. Like this is wild, the amount of extra bullets here, right? Or I guess the amount of removed bullets in novice. But look, they're streamed right into me now, so I have a bit of a safe spot. Right? Get a... Ah! I was smart enough to avoid the physical laser wheel, but got hit by the helicopter. All right. I was doing okay weaving there. But yeah, this whole section, man, right? I am on multiple lives. at least like 10 bombs. And I couldn't even get around that. Ridiculous. Right? And now I'm hyperless. Almost. I managed to build a lot of it back. Go. And since I've canceled so many bullets now, every time I cancel a laser, it fires extra bullets at me. Yeah, usually the hypers are that's it. There are very specific points. Yeah, the hyper rank. So there's like so many fucking crunchy little systems in this game that the game doesn't tell you about, and that players are just like, we figured that out, that's all right. And yeah, like the hyper rank system is one of them. And like those things can get even more complex in the different arrangements, because some of them have like bars which let you control the rank yourself. There are ways to rank up and down the difficulty. Like it's wild. Give me those. Ah! Okay. Swing down and around. So yeah. So this guy, right, has now 2 layered bullet patterns instead of just the 1 dodge. And like the way that these things layer up is so wonderful. And this is it. Like you can actually really, not really easy, but fairly easily create a novice version of this just by stripping away a couple of those layers of difficulty, right? And layers of bullets. And it's like they're already arranged in that way. But yeah, I've used my hyper so much at this point that it's actually, there's like degradation on it. So it doesn't destroy bullets as effectively as it did earlier on in the game because I've used it so much. Oh, jeez. We're gonna have to pump another quarter in. Okay, at least I got the phase switch. Hit with the horizontal one. Whoa, come on now. Oh dang, okay. And that goes out with proper lasers in normal. All right. Ah! Not like this. Not like this. There. right? What was that? That was like 4 credits or 5 credits or something like that, right? And this is so, I don't know, man, right? Like, what is... I understand why people could look at it and just say, oh, what's the point? It's just you pump quarters in, right? And I'm like, there's more than that. All right. What is it? So we have our strong style ratings. Oh, wrong ship. That's why. It's one of the very few arcade-born experiences that are meant to allow for 1/4 clears. Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's one of the better ones for sure. I mean, I don't know. I've always loved those challenges, right? I mean, even before I knew what 1/4 clears, like 1cc's were, I like still tried to do, single game over loops on Donkey Kong on the NES, right? Like that was still something that I was all about. So there's, for a certain type of player, I think there's a lot to get from it. Like, you get similar things out of rhythm games, you get similar things out of fighting games. But yeah, because these, they'll absolutely call your score. If you pump in another quarter, you lose your score, right? Which, like we said earlier on, a lot of these things are designed around score chasing, because that's the way it's designed, right? It's like, it's very clearly in mind, where it's like, if you want that high score, it has to be done. Like, you're only really gonna get it if you get a 1cc, right? I think honestly, like, DFK is a particularly approachable bullet hell shooter, because it, like, especially 1.5, it's autobomb is always on, right? And so if you do novice, you can still get that really good score chasing feeling by throwing on novice and just trying to do it without dying. Yes, Daifukatsu, sorry. For those curious, Resurrection is the name of this collection, but yes, it goes by Daifukatsu, so DFK. God, really, it is a just mesh or a melange of initials, though, right? DDP, DFK. God, what are the other ones? Sayoju? Daioju, yeah. It's when you go to the restaurant and you get your main course of dai with the oju at the side. But yeah, I think because Autobomb is constantly on, that this really, it's like, don't be afraid of getting hit, right? I think that's really it. Like, that little change of everyone has Autobomb, as opposed to, like, if you boot up Black Label, then you can see that you can turn Autobomb on or off, and it feels like it's the fake way to play, right? And this is something you'll see in a lot of, like, competitive games too. You see it in fighting games all the time. Oh, you're not playing the real game, right? And it's like, and I don't, like, that was my immediate reaction when I saw the Autobomb and the novice options, where I'm just like, but if I do that, I'm not playing the real game. And guys, it's the real game. Same thing. If you're playing Street Fighter 6 with modern controls or whatever, or if you're playing on stylish mode in Guilty Gear, let me tell you, you're still playing the real game. In fact, you might be playing it better than other people if you can still beat people with, like, their full toolkit available, right? But, like, I don't know. I like that having something that gives it to you, right? Like, Novice gives you you can die and still, or you can get hit and autobomb and still build that combo, right? It's like the ways that it's made easier actually let you get better with the mechanics. I think maybe that's really the biggest problem, right? Is that doing poorly in these games usually means that you don't get to practice and you don't get to test things with these mechanics, right? It's like if you're losing, you don't get to use your offensive mechanics. If you're getting hit, you have maybe bursts that you can use, right? But that's like that's not the end of the world, right? Like it's not the end of the world, but it's hard to get over. So, yeah, having a game that, oh, we've gone no signal. Having a game that just says to you, look, it's okay to get hit. You can still build this up. Now in Novice, you still get to experience all the things that you're doing in normal, but normal, you'll have to work harder for it. And you'll have to be better at the game to achieve it, right? Which I think is a great way to like encourage people to make that extra step. Yeah, you lose score that way, throwing a bomb. Yeah. Yeah, reduce rank for easier milking. There's all these things, yeah, that is the other interesting thing for an experienced player. Sometimes these novice mechanics actually give you new tools with which to optimize, right? But yeah. I love it. Yeah, no, allowing design in your game that encourages suboptimal play, but likely novice play, and then saying there's this, having a bridge, right? Being able to take away, if you're playing Black Label, great, then you can add or take away Autobomb. If you're playing this, you can go novice or whatever. And then, yeah, kind of build that ramp, right? But I think, and that's the fundamental problem and the difficulty with these games is that they're so self-directed, right? You have to build that ramp yourself. You have to understand enough about the games and the systems to recognize that the ramp is there, and then you have to walk it, right? And like, that's on you. And it's not usually facilitated enough by the games. And that's where like developers can step in and do a little bit better, right? And the community can step in and be like, when we talk about that these things are ramping, right? Yeah, the better you play, those are cool too, right? Yeah, well, the better you play, the more of your tools you get to use, absolutely. And there is a little bit of that in shmups, right? Where the better you are, especially if you're looking for scoring, the more things you will be able to play with. You can start, if you're doing really well and you have a high hyper rank, suddenly you can mess with ranking down, right? If you're doing really, right? So like, those are, they lead to building on top of each other, right? Which is super important, you're right. Yeah, it's all about self-improvement and usually not guided, right? And this is like, I've been very clear about this. I totally understand and I appreciate that there's a certain type of player who is not interested in doing that. And that is not a failing on their part, right? Like if someone looks at fighting games and says, well, I don't want to learn that, right? That is not a failing on their part. That's just the type of player that they are. And some people can be kind of guided into being that type of player and maybe they'll enjoy it. And other people are just never going to be there, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't get access to the game. Like, the game is beautiful for many other reasons than that difficult art. But the difficult art is also very beautiful and kind of a core to it, right? Everyone wants something different for their entertainment, man. And yeah, like, this is what I've been saying about DFK, where it's just like, give people different points to get on and to get engaged with what are the core interesting features and the core interesting mechanics, right? The fact that Novice lets me play with these tools in a way that I wasn't able to play with on normal has made me way more excited about the game. And that is far more important than being like, shmups are a difficult art, suck it up, right? So there are ways to appeal to those different player types. without losing anything. And that's the most important thing. Like, this is not, none of these things are mutually exclusive, right? Like, we are not hurt. I am not hurt by as a hardcore fighting game player by the person who just wants to push buttons against a dumb AI in arcade mode and see some pretty pictures, right? There's room for both. People and games contain multitudes, and I think that's something that should be embraced. But yeah, yo, this has been super fun, man. I am going to be doing some more shmup streams coming up. Definitely, this has been super good. Thank you everyone for swinging by and chatting Dodonpachi with me. I appreciate it, guys. Yo, check out Angel at Dusk as well if you're interested even remotely in shoot 'em ups and like cool, interesting metal as fuck art and like badass angel designs. Go check out Angel at Dusk. And yo, maybe give Dodonpachi a go, man. Like it's super cool. It is not as hard to get into as I thought even a week ago, right? So if anyone's interested, yo, hit me up. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm in the Discord, and I'm happy to chat about this with y'all. But yo, friends, until next time, stay safe out there. Be nice to each other. Be nice to yourselves. And take care. I will see you next time here in the Digital Basement. Peace out, friends.